punishing.
get it.
It's just like punishing the child that steals the meat from the pot and the one that failed to do the assignment, giving them the same
punishment.
Does that make any sense?
Right. And but before we get on there, you asked the question if it was a Peter Obi administration and all that. Look, this is not about who
is president
and who's
at
president.
all.
We won elections. We've gone past that now,
it's over,
right?
yeah.
We have gone past that
Yeah.
now. I think we've moved away from that.
Yeah.
Where we are coming from is whether it was a Peter Obi, whether it was a Kwankwaso, whether it was an Atiku and all of that. And this came up, Nigerians, we will still come out and say no.
Because it's extreme.
It's extreme, bro. It's extreme.
Let's go on. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Is this Elder?
Elder, no, just my name.
Right, Elder. It's been a while. Good to have you join us.
Yeah. That's why I don't come back.
All right, good to have you. So quickly, let's hear what your thoughts are.
Welcome, Elder.
To you.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
to hear from you.
Yes. You see all the law where they are making. Human beings having your right. Did you know national anthem is against of some people's religion? Are you going to obey human being or more than your God? So if they say they are going to sentence somebody because of national anthem, that means they are not fear. They are not fear. All those somebody puts drug, condition puts some people to drug.
Exactly.
And then drug is a business in the other countries.
Exactly.
You can't sentence somebody to death because they put drug. When the corruption, why they don't make law to against corruption? If they want to make something in Nigeria, let them make law that anybody who is corrupt in the government should be sentenced to death. They don't see the side of that place. You are telling me that if somebody is singing national anthem, somebody is sitting there sentenced to this and this. Why they don't make a law against corruption? A politician, they are the great problem of this Nigeria. The inflation. Why not make a law against people's functional terrorists? Most of the people functional terrorists, they are part of the government. That's the name you are making now. You see a terrorist man working with government people. Even how many think about a history of Boko Haram? And then think about the people, think about the politicians now. How many of them? Why not make law that anybody who is sponsored this and this should be sentenced to death? Why not make anybody who is linked with Boko Haram or terrorists if you don't have anything to do with government? Why not make that law? You are talking about somebody who did not sing a national anthem to be sentenced. Somebody who put drugs to be sentenced. Go to the place where you are pregnant now. 95% of Christians, they are looters. Why don't talk about looters? Now that if you are the drug motor now, I don't hit the national asset. I will be sentenced to death.
All right.
Is it a law?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Law?
All right, thank you
very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Elder, for that contribution.
Right.
There. Let's keep it coming through. 090-7353-0044. This one says, Mata, please tell Alamin to leave Peter Obi out of any of his comparison. Just like you guys said, we are no more in election or campaign. This is Joy. Thank you, Joy, for joining us. Let's have this. Hello, good morning to you. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Good morning. We just lost that very call, but you can do well to also call via the WhatsApp portal number, and we will take your call 0909-705-4450, and we can have a wordy conversation. And remember, you can also send a message via the WhatsApp portal number 0909-705-4450. Right?
Now this one says let me take that. It says, good morning, Martha and UD.
Okay.
This is James from Suleja. Hi, James.
Hi, James.
Good to hear from you. He says,
right.
How many times have I mentioned how the security situation in this country is scripted? We are not yet ready for this conversation. Hadeja wines and dines with the high and mighty in government. He was the special assistant to the former governor, who is currently the Minister of Defense. They both presented gold. Oh no, why did I lose that? They both presented gold bars to the presidency. It is the same people who are in charge that are the supposed cabals. The intelligence agencies carry out background checks on every and anyone who comes close to the seat of power and presidencies. Anyways, today's members of the MPC Monetary Policy Committee have come out to admit that most of the fiscal policies of the government were efforts to rein in inflation. Can we now say the government is using inflation as a tool against its own people? On the bill, or on the issue of the national anthem bill, stipulates that anyone found guilty of destroying national symbols, refusing to recite the national anthem and pledge, defacing a place of worship with intent to incite violence, or undermining the federal government shall face a fine of 5 million, a 10-year prison sentence, or both. How many people know the new national anthem, for heaven's sake? Some of these people can't seem to hide their sentiments and bigotry. This was the same person who asked Nigerians to go to their representatives when the punishment for drugs was brought up some time ago. Thank you, James, from Suleja. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Martha.
Yes,
Good morning to you, Selassie.
Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Good morning to the man with the golden voice.
Right. Thank you, Selassie. Feels good to hear from you. Very energetic as usual.
My name is Selassie. And you know, I'm sorry to say that some people can suggest without mentioning Peter Obi. Politics have come and gone. That is why I always quote the book of Romans chapter 13 verse 1 that says, everyone must forget state authority because no authority exists without God's permission. And the existing authority has been put there by God. So politics is over. People should reject in 2027. When we are bringing this issue of politics, this new law, I now remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They say, if they sound this trumpet, anyone who refuses to do this, we are going to throw into the den of burning furnace to put that inside. What happened to them? That is in the answer of the spiritual. So some people are saying 5 years in spiritual. What have they know? Tell me the law they have passed about these terrorists. We were here. Train that was going for Abuja to Kaduna, kidnap people. 100 million we are paying each. Per head. The expert rate, we are paying 200 million. They didn't pass any law. The money was given to these people. Now we are talking of terrorists. He hit the former terrorist going with the governor and the minister of defense. They are not talking of that one. Me, I can't recite this letter again, but my small year daughter of 3 years can do that for 8 years, the first and the second and the third one. Even if it's another thunder, that's what they can recite that.
All right.
It's not my business. And then you were talking about the terrorists. Look at in places. You have to pay money for terrorists in order to have access to your bank.
Yeah.
They are not talking of that one. How are we? Why wouldn't he continue with the process of the law now to know whether we are in military or we are in democracy? I don't know how some people think. When we are contributing to this radio, we make them understand that.
All right. All right, Selassie. All right, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. I literally would feel the heat of this guy's contribution whenever he's talking over here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Martha. You have got calling from Ogoleda.
Abubakar, it's good to have you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You can't enforce patriotism. You inspire people to be patriotic. You inject positive feelings into people by taking action of the government. The government and it has its own duty to perform. Then you encourage the citizens to carry out their obligation. So it's vice versa. If the government is not responsible, if the government is not pursuing government according to the rule of law, then you don't expect people to be patriotic. I remember in history, there was a time when America was engaging the Vietnam War. It's a national target to go to battlefield. Then Muhammad Ali, the late Muhammad Ali, legendary Muhammad Ali, was about to be sent to Vietnam. He refused. He preferred to, at that time went to jail, and he came out a hero. That law was the policy was out of law.
So you can't force people to do against that. And when this the current national item was passed as a law, there was no public hearing. People say my own confined, I still recite the right of compassion. And I believe one day we will return to right of compassion. Nigeria follow obey. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that contribution.
Right.
Thank you for that contribution right there. I think let's take this this message. This one says, "Good morning.
All right.
Let me draw your attention to this. Can anyone try to discredit the
discredit,
national anthem or recite the national anthem in the barracks? Nope. Someone once tried this in the Millie 5 barracks, and he was clocked up in the guard. He was locked up.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the guard room for over a week for not standing up when it was being sung. This shows some persons have taken their political resentment too far.
Right.
The national anthem is our symbol of identity and must be respected. I think the punishment is punitive enough to address such issues of rascality."
Okay.
Thanks. This is Abbas
reporting from Dutse.
So let's just take
okay,
this.
let's take
This
it.
one says Martha Obi Zekwesili and Aisha Yusufu this day are still saying Tinubu is not their president. Well, that's their business.
Well, it has their business.
It has nothing to do. It has nothing
their
to do with
business.
us right here.
Yes.
It says they're the same individuals leading the blackmail against the subversion law. So it is still very much about the 2023 elections. If they are making such a rhetoric simply because their candidate lost an election, when we should know that every time they come out to condemn, it is not about their love for Nigeria, but hatred for the person sitting as our president. And it's sad. This is Alamin from Central Era. Well, the government now know the offenders. Aisha Yusufu and Obeze Kwesili refuse to stand up, punish Ezekwesili and
Aisha
Yusuf. Don't introduce laws that will touch everybody because of Ezekwesili
or
and
Aisha
Yusuf.
That's one thing.
This one says Martha Obi lives rent free in the heads of some people simply because they are failing at their jobs and defending their paymasters. This is James. You guys.
Just before we get into this, let's also be very clear. Like we said, we have not defended anybody who would not respect the national anthem or any sort of emblem that represents us as a people.
Integrity.
But however, it must be said that the punitive measure that has been proposed by Abbas Tajuddin was just too extreme. We would have loved to see how extreme these punitive measures would have been meted out in other spheres of issues that border on each and every one of us. But then let's also clarify who made the national anthem. Who is it made for? What purpose does it serve? It is government of the people, and by the people, right? Now, if it is government of the people, for the people and by the people, it means that people is the denominator, is the common denominator. And the people happens to be you and I, Martha.
Yeah.
It happens to be you two listening to us right about now, right? Yeah, it happens to be the citizenry of Nigeria, right? The entire citizenry. Now, what other rascality is there as we have been meted out to in terms of different policies, in terms of different, laws, in terms of the harsh economy, situation, in terms of the fuel queues that we keep experiencing every now and then, even when we are the ones who produce this,
And
items.
one thing Abubakar said that I quite align with this morning is you don't enforce patriotism.
That's where I was coming from. The point is, look, when there is a system that works naturally, you don't have to fight it.
You don't have to set laws.
You don't set laws in such a thing.
The moment you start to do that, it obviously means you've lost your power.
Yes, that's what it means. You've lost your power. You've lost your integrity.
Even worse, Alamin. You put these policies because you want to address a group or certain people. It even is a bad outlook. It means Tomorrow, if I get offended by what this person does, I can just come up and sponsor a bill that targets dealing with what that person did or dealing with the behavior of that person. You can call a person who refuse to obey the laws of the country, you can call them to order.
Call them out.
I do not support anybody who does not have respect for their country, or who does not, respect the laws or obey the laws of their country. Yesterday, we had an extensive conversation about patriotism. And we said, it's not something that you can force people to do. It's something that you gain. It's trust. Patriotism is trust. It's people, you must have done something to gain the trust of people before they say, okay, regardless of what you do, we will follow you. And a person who is patriotic does not wait for the system or the conditions to be favorable before they are patriotic. We said all of those things here just to establish the fact that we don't support anybody who does not obey the law. But then, if we keep putting these stringent punitive measures to address issues that are trivial compared to, let me not say trivial.
They're not trivial.
To address issues like this compared to the grievous ones others commit and compared to the serious conditions we find ourselves in right now. It is shadowboxing to me again. It remains shadowboxing. I think we'll take a few more messages and then we're out. This one says, good morning, Daniel, and my one and only beautiful sister Martha. I'm listening from Nasarawa State. It's now clear that our lawmakers, who are allegedly one of the highest paid in the world, lack ideas and can't make good laws for Nigerians. Why can't these people make laws like that will take away the power of the president to appoint INEC chairman? Why can't these people make laws that empower the judiciary to hang to death public servants who steal our money, laws to limit the tenure of the president and governors for a single term? Many governors do little to no work during second term. This is Tekimbi Humpo. The way you guys are about death by hanging,
I don't know.
very soon nobody's going to remain in this country because we are all moving for the death penalty, and we will not make a caricature of that.
That's right.
That punishment.
Exactly.
For someone to be given the death penalty, the person has, directly or indirectly caused the death of another person through policies again, through corruption again, through other means. It's not so punitive measures for death should not be someone who commits murder alone. It's someone whose behavior has directly or indirectly led to the death of other people.
We should also give it to the judiciary. I mean, we know that you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know your jobs, especially just recently the president had passed into bill, that law, or into law rather. Why do I keep saying into bill? Passed a bill into law.
Too many bills flying
around.
Too
many bills now flying around. Oh, come on. Okay, so that allows for a 300% increment. It means at the end of the year, 64 million naira is what you'll be earning individually as a justice or a judge and all of that. And this is, of course, has some disparities when it comes to who the Chief Justice himself. His own is a different package entirely. But now that being said, right, you might also want to delve into this, interpret the law as it should, so that we have a basic understanding. And if the Constitution, where the Constitution says death penalty, please give it. Where it also says, this is what it should be, please do it. And where it needs to be reviewed, it should be reviewed.
Exactly.
All right.
So yes, I think this will bring us to the end of the general open banter today. Sorry, we're not able to take a lot of these calls because I sense that a lot of people are boiling out. So we will not be able to take any more calls, and we're heading out now to prepare for the Abuja Now segment of the Midday Extra Show. Thank you for everyone who came through with your contributions. Again, this is not about ethnicity. This is not about tribe.
Not about the past elections.
As a matter of fact, I don't care who is president. As long as the only thing that makes you care is the fact that they do things that affect you and improve the quality of your life. As long as someone assumes that position and is able to improve the quality of my life and the life of my loved ones, and then generally the country, I am all for it. So it's not about who becomes president, who failed, who won. We've passed that point now. We have someone seated there. What we need to do to ensure that the policies are right, to support the government, and to ensure that the things that have been introduced are not counterproductive.
Exactly.
We will continue to lend our voice in activism.
So, one of the family members always says, one day we will get it right.
We will get it right.
We'll get it right.
As long as it depends on myself and Edward Daniels.
That's right. And you
Anyways,
too,
and
listening.
You too. And you too. Thank you guys so much. Heading out
Right.
now. Please keep it locked in. It's Martha of the Midday Extra Show. Edward Daniel will be exiting right now.
Exactly.
And I will be right back. Right back. Where's this?